Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 7, Episode 5.
Draguation Speeches.
Draguation Speeches. This was a pretty good episode if this weren't All-Stars or, again, as we've referenced, the caliber of talent this season. This would probably be one of the ones that was a slog.
Yeah.
The gimmick is they had to give graduation speeches. I am largely... Did you have anything you want to say off the top?
I mean, it was like... I hate to use the word slog, but I just was like, well, they're all going to do good. So I was like, there was not a lot of tension for me.
I have largely loved that no one's going home. But this was the first episode where I felt it because it was a very redundant challenge.
Yeah.
There's sort of the challenge doesn't leave a lot of room for interpretation because it's a speech, which no one really likes and very few people are good at. But also the meat of like the speech, it's going to lead most of the queens in the same direction. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, everybody did mostly good. Weirdly, I was the least impressed with Raja.
Interesting.
You liked Raja's speech?
I thought she was pretty funny.
I liked her character, but I thought it was just sort of cliches and aphorisms. And I love Raja. Yeah. I want to go back and watch season 3 when we're done with this. She's been my takeaway. I think she's been criminally underappreciated and slept on, but this challenge I was like, ooh. And to quote Rachel, Ru was gonna break a rib. Ru
trying to laugh was at laughing everything
so hard. And Nikki Glaser, we'll talk about her in a minute, but she spent half of the episode like this.
Yeah.
Which for me is sort of a sign that she was laying it on.
Putting it on. So that's the other thing too, is like everybody had a couple of jokes and I laughed a decent amount, but like nobody was that funny.
Well, I think...
Let's see what you say, because I have 2 as well. That I
had
think
3
were
that
the funniest.
4, honestly, that I liked. 3. I thought Shea Coulee was the most successful.
Okay.
I might have been blinded by how much I loved her outfit. That like brown velvet with the tassels and like I think her take on it, I was cool then and I'm cool now. I don't know. I think that's a really solid.
She had a big ass then. She's got a big ass now.
And then strangely, I thought Evie's was really good.
Evie's was good.
It was very genuine. Yeah. It was very earnest. And that's where Evie shines.
Yeah.
Is when she can find a way to be her. She really has this like Jim Henson Muppets-esque quality.
Sure.
And not just in like the kookiness, but in she's gonna come at things.
It's very nice and very socialist.
I mean, those are elements. But no, there's a dog and pony element to so much of what she does, and sort of a don't look too close because you're gonna find, scotch tape and hot glue.
Right.
But it really there's a lot of heart, and ultimately there's a lot of meat there. And I was a little, when she got up, because she's also one of the ones that I think can overshoot. And I don't think she did.
No, not this time.
Because she even had, first of all, I think her gimmick of
failing.
I think that was excellent. Like borderline almost just pick that up and drop it into an actual commencement. Commencement speech.
But also, yes, that's been done.
Okay, fine.
People do that.
Wear sunscreen. It was just good, but also she had another option that she could have done, which is what I probably would have done, is because she dropped all of her cards at the beginning, and I thought that the speech was going to be shuffled.
Out of order.
And that, I think, could potentially be... It would require a decent amount of writing skill.
I think Jinx could do it. That's the thing. I think maybe even Vivian could do it.
Oh, yeah.
But Jinx especially could do that.
Nikki could have.
And Nikki, for sure. I think Evie's maybe not there yet, but it would have been. That was my first instinct. I was like, she dropped all the cards and now her speech is going to be out of order.
Well, so either she would need to find some way to engineer some sense into the nonsense, or go more like, I am almost at the right place, but at the last second I say the wrong cranberry.
Sure, yeah.
Then that could have also worked. But I do want to talk a little bit about Nikki Glaser. I didn't think I liked Nikki Glaser. I have not really seen much of her, and what I have been, she's given me that like overly vulgar female comedian for the sake of being overly vulgar.
Like an late 90s, early 2000s female comedian.
Kind of a little bit. I am actually a rather big fan of Sarah Silverman at this point, but at certain points in her career, there's very, my vagina of it all. I was really impressed with her.
Yeah, she was good. We also, just a couple of weeks ago, we were watching Drag Race.
The Met Gala.
The Met Gala with commercials. Bad, long, huge, stupid commercials, and we saw a commercial for Nikki Glaser's new reality show approximately 4,000 times.
That should have been a pull quote for bad, long, huge, stupid.
But it was just so bad, and so it was like the exact same commercial every single time the Met Gala went to commercial break, which was more often than it needed to. Mm-hmm. And so just like a few weeks ago, I got so sick of Nikki Glaser that I was like, I will kill myself if this happens again. I'm ready to go.
But no, she had that Anne Hathaway quality where it was like, remember like 2 seasons ago, Louis Vertel will say, was like, leave it to Anne Hathaway to find a way to give like actionable advice to drag queens.
I think there was a scene with Rosé and Candy.
Yeah. So last year.
Yeah, 100% correct.
But no, because it's almost always, I'll just go out and say it's always someone talented advising them, but it's not always, not everybody who's good can also teach.
Well, and she said I think it was to Trinity, but now I don't remember, but she was like, that's really good. I would just remove all of the extra words. If the
it was
word
Vivian because she was doing the drunk.
Yeah, take it out. And I was like, that is good, actionable advice.
Or even this joke was good, you need to end on it versus the middle, or like here's like a freebie or something. Because it's like someone like a Kathy Griffin who, again, I'm a huge fan of. I think she's an icon, but it's like she's like, I can't tell a one-liner to save my life. Yeah. Like anytime she's ever had to give a speech, she's asked other comedian friends to help her write them. You know what I mean? So Nikki was actually very, very good and useful in that. Yeah. And also she just looked gorgeous. They were really fawning.
Pink fucking dress.
Her hair and skin.
And the earrings.
Those chandeliers.
Yeah.
I love when like the cis women come to play with the drag queens. Insert that Ariana Grande clip where is my makeup too much? And Ross Matthews goes, oh, honey.
Amazing.
But that dress they were really fawning over. But even that, I love that I'm coming out of this a fan because it's like I love that she couldn't even let the illusion stand where she was like, oh, I would give it to you if it was mine to give.
Yeah.
But she's like, oh, I'm borrowing this. Because during Untucked, she went backstage and immediately Raja's first thing was, can you do a Quebecois accent? Because I think you look like Celine Dion. Yeah, and I was like, you do look like Celine Dion. So Jinx's commencement speech was phenomenal.
For me, it's Jinx and Vivian.
So Vivian, I thought, overplayed her hand.
I disagree.
Just a bit, okay. But I think she had it. I think she
had a lock on it enough that it didn't feel overproduced.
I think she pulled it off.
Okay.
It still felt overproduced to me, but I think she pulled it off. Yeah. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
It was too much, but she landed it.
I'm just a sucker. Jinx and Vivian it's just exactly my brand.
I think she quite literally stuck the landing when she collapsed to the stage and then stayed there.
She did not.
Part of me wished she wasn't last.
Yeah.
So that she was just there,
lying there
for the next.
That would have been
but
good.
Monet, man. Oh, she takes this stuff so seriously. So seriously. She actually was more graceful than I thought she was going to be, especially with the toilet paper.
Yeah.
When she walked in, it was like, well, I'm such a shitty drag queen. No, but
because Monet set the order.
That was
going in.
She was feeling some type of way, as they say. But Jinx's because once again, the witch thing was good enough, but then she did the car accident, which when they said, I always hate when they do that, especially with like, I mean, I understand that we need it, like, but it's like when so many of them barely have a grasp on the comedy routine or the speech, and then they give us half of the speech halfway through the episode. But I liked what she was setting up with the car accident thing, but I really didn't realize it was going to land that way.
Yeah.
And the way she's such a consummate, I'm going to compare her to the Muppets too, because she's also very burlesque, very sort of vaudeville comedy rule of threes, because that car thing, she hit
by a fucking car. Okay, I don't know if I've actually said it on our coverage yet. I think I've only said it when we've been watching, but I would pay real actual money.
You said it on
Did
camera.
I? Okay, I'm going to say it again. I want her to do a drag version of the witch from The Sword and the Stone.
Straightforward or glammed up?
Either way.
Both. Straightforward and then reveal to a glammed up.
Either way, all of it, yes, no, maybe so. I want it right now.
That's just sort of her in the Talking Heads.
Yeah.
It's just a different color hair.
Yeah.
But you were right. I got hit by a fucking car. There's something about my limited journey experience with Jinx. She absolutely will swear and like make dirty jokes and stuff, but she's very sparing, or she chooses if and when to do it.
She doesn't necessarily work blue. She works in like a light aqua.
Lavender.
Yeah.
No, it's sort of she'll do it, she'll say it, but it reserves a bit of a punch when she throws it down. And the way that some of them, it's like, that's old hat.
She like also, I loved that she was a couple of times almost doing the voice of the like pig sister that she was last week. It just like when the second time I think that she said she got hit by a car, it almost went into the Jesus Christ. It's very funny. I love it.
So from there we can do the runways.
Okay. Also, the top half of RuPaul's dress was great.
There were some looks happening. Ru came into the workroom in a very bold,
kind of like hammer pants and like a vest.
Yeah, but like a lot of cutoffs and a plunging V. And also Nancy Pelosi was there. I mean, okay. New friends are silver and old friends are gold. I'll say that much. Okay, so I like this look. I like the concept. I like the execution. It barely counts.
Yeah.
As a veil.
Yeah.
Because there's literally like the veil's not even going to be in the footage that I pull.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I think the bird in a cage is cute, and
well, she said she was counting this as the veil. It's almost like a cage veil, like that's what these ones are called for like funerals or whatever. But
okay,
it still works. But I think the dress is so fun and cool, and it's feathers and like Carson.
Well done, yeah.
Carson was like the execution and the construction in this dress. I mean, it looks incredible, and it looks incredible on her.
And I do like the notion because you put a sheet over a bird cage. Make them.
Yeah.
So I get it. It was a stretch in my humble opinion. This one, I also really love this look, but it also, I feel like, is kind of a stretch.
I kind of like everything except the veil.
Yeah, because it's giving me beekeeper, but not actually.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why didn't you just go beekeeper with it?
Because it's like the veil of a beekeeper, but then it's like the outfit of someone who's like on a all-inclusive vacation in Saint-Tropez.
Well, because I loved the story with her grandmother, and again the color blocking, the fabric, like I thought it was beautiful. Even the hat, she's good at color story from what I'm gathering, but it was just something that was slightly not fully there for me.
I wish that the hat wasn't yellow. I wish it was a color that was in the outfit.
There's yellow in the.
Is there?
It's like a. Oh, maybe not.
No, that's like peach. Yeah, then it should have been that peach color. All right, this is great.
It is fantastic. It didn't quite thrill me, so that's more of a personal taste.
And again, There's no veil.
No, the veil. It's in the back.
In the back? Okay.
Yeah, a veil. That to me is a veil before the cage is.
Because in my mind, I was like, this little loop-de-loop does not equal a veil.
No. Okay, well, I guess let us know what you think. Does a veil cover the face or does it just trail? Because for me, anything on the head that trails is a veil.
I don't know. For me, I think it needs to at least start out covering the face. You can then flip it back. But, because to me, it's like for weddings. It's like a wedding veil.
It's also like a modest, like a headpiece. Because, I mean, in Fairytale, Snow White wears the veil and it doesn't ever cover her face.
I guess that's true.
But I count it. I think that this is technically excellent. I didn't realize she was so red. A lot of red.
Yeah, she does a lot of red. And I love that she mentioned how heavy the train was because all the weight was on the very end of it.
And I absolutely loved her hamming it up on the runway.
Yeah.
Like well down into the whatever that's called. It's called something. I can't think of it. The T. That's what they mean. I loved this.
This is so fun. So all of it's really great. I am specifically obsessed with the shoulder, the beaded shoulder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed that she likes the show is not shy about the fact that she's a woman of a certain age.
Yeah.
And she loves sort of a blousey, taffeta sort of like, and not even shapeless, but you know, that like kind of.
No, but it's like very like a caftan kind of.
Yeah. But she always is finding ways to give it something, like you said, the shoulder piece, and then down in the bodice, and then the pop of blue with the gloves, and then the like hiked up to the high heavens.
Love it. And the beaded tights, the
rhinestone tights. I absolutely love this. I love the headpiece. I love the veil. I love the gimmick of the veil.
Yeah. Voile.
This one's great, but it feels very standard.
I also feel like she's been wearing a lot of black, and I think I want her to get some pops of color in there. I feel like the last like 3 or 4 things have been black.
Well, something needed a pop on this. She needed 1 or 2 pieces from Trinity's vampire look last week.
Or
there was
jewelry.
Yeah,
maybe?
that's what I mean. Like there was just something about it that it just kind of looked like a black tablecloth.
Yeah. I like it, but again,
and I do appreciate, because I was a little bit critical of Jada earlier on, because I was like, you know, again, my style, my taste. I don't typically prefer the pageant queens, the pageanty looks, and she's been breaking out of that. She hasn't been. I haven't felt like it's just the same thing over and over, but
I do love this. Like also this like sheer poplin fabric is like really fun. Yeah, I don't know. It's not my favorite.
I loved this.
So weirdly was a lot of fun.
Gorgeous. Yeah. And because actually I see the New Mexico in it now.
Yeah.
The only thing that was actually giving me New Mexico was the turquoise. And so I wasn't entirely sure, but
then Carson said Aztec, I think. Yeah.
The color, the rich, deep jewel tones, the color, the glitter, the glitz, and
also she had more than one veil. Technically,
and it's still, it's not 100% the full glam look that I want to see her do,
no, but it's good.
But it's very close. And her legs looked fantastic. I actually loved this. This was another one that I'm like, Evie actually could have won this one for me.
Yeah.
We've been a little critical of her. And this week and last week, I think she did great.
I love it.
I do. I love it too. There is something about it that's a little like, it's a polyester lilac dress.
I like it.
Yeah, it's good.
And I love they mentioned it, but it looks like the butterflies are carrying the veil.
It's it's good.
I like her and she looks great. And apparently her fashion has come a long way since the last time she was on Drag Race. So
she was a little bit like, like I liked this a lot too. I wasn't 100% sure I understood it.
Oh, I think this one's my favorite.
Is it really? Yeah. Well, I said I liked it a lot. Yeah. I like the shine, the glitter, the glitz, the glamour, but also the danger.
This bitch has a lot of nerve saying she never wears blue. 3 friggin' runways in a row.
Yeah, so it is your favorite. Wow.
I think it's my favorite.
I think, well, also, I think you just like...
I do. I like her a lot. I really like her a lot.
It's very your sort of sensibilities.
Well, that's what I said. Her and Jinx are like... I love everybody. This is like such a fun season, but her and Jinx are... It's like, you know, the whole Nina West... That's the thing I gravitate towards with drag, for sure.
She also just has such a, she's so bawdy.
Yeah.
Like...
Vivian?
Yeah.
I also love that, like, boy Vivian is like a fuck boy, kind of like a London fuck boy. It's like maybe my favorite thing.
There were so many good looks because even their like lip syncs when they were standing there in the lip sync looks, I was like, bitches.
Like, because Raja's was like just as good as this, and like Jinx's was like 100% different.
I'll pull it up. Hold on. Okay, so they all didn't change. Monet is still sort of in her graduation gown.
Okay. But then she changed out of her veil thing. Back
into the graduation gown. And the same with Shay, it looks like.
She just put the gown on top.
Trinity, it's like a spangly
like a bikini.
But it's like those really big sequins that I like. And the wig, I don't know.
Paillettes.
There you go. Yeah. The big, it's almost like she's wearing Raja's
her Vanna White.
Vanna White. I was like Vivian Vanna White wig. And then Raja in this
Amazing.
Like
a jumpsuit.
There you go. I was like, that's not a caftan, but it's like a romper.
A rainbow disco jumpsuit and purple gloves.
And I love her hair.
And her hair is so good.
And then Jada's in some Star Wars prequels realness. It's looking like some Padme.
I was gonna say Queen of the Damned.
I mean, those aren't the two most radically opposite things. And then I can't. It was Evie's hair. Yeah. These rainbow braids. And Evie's makeup was so good. I was like, how much time did they have in between this? Because that was these three entirely different looks.
Totally different outfits. 100% different.
And Jinx, she has such a... Jinx is gonna win. We know, yada yada.
Probably, yeah.
But she has such a unique take on her, because I would even say it's like she's beyond drag. Like, it's like performance art. And this is... when I look at this is Jinx, the drag queen, dressing up as, or like Jinx dressing up as something else.
Oh, okay.
Like, there's something about it. Still looks Jinx, but it's like, it was like a tan leotard and then tights.
Like patterned lace tights, yeah.
And then those boots. Like, there was something about it where I was like, I feel like I'm watching a character dressed up as another character.
Also, when she was dancing during the lip sync, it felt like Adele.
Yeah, she was doing that last week too, but it was very unique in a way that I'm having a hard time explaining because it sounds like I'm saying the exact opposite, but I'm like, this looks so much like Jinx because it doesn't look like Jinx.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
And then this Vivian, this is just straight cunt.
Just Versace.
Just straight.
Amazing. She's just wearing Versace and
that wig. Boots. Yeah. I loved it. This was a really, considering that I thought the challenge was just medium, this was a strong week for like looks and opinions.
Quite good.
So I'm still loving it. We're 5 in. I think we've got like 8 more. I think it was 12.
Like that, 7.
So did they have a preview for next week? I don't remember.
I don't recall what it was, if we did.
Okay, hopefully you enjoyed.
Jinx and Raja won. They lip synced. They also each get an extra star to give to someone else.
I find it so fascinating because I would be playing the game honestly. Like, I would be giving the star either to someone who didn't have one or someone that I had blocked or something.
So that's what I was going to say. Is so Jinx gave the plunger to who?
Vivian.
To Vivian.
Which was... Yeah,
and so then in my opinion, then Jinx would give her star to Vivian also.
That feels Jinx. That feels like she would do that.
So...
I'm curious, and we're not going to find out until the beginning of next week who they give their other stars to. So I'm very curious. So Raja has the other one.
Yeah. Monet was whipping votes for her to get someone's extra star. So we'll see if that works.
So, okay, well, please, like, apparently that is the best thing that you can do. It helps us out the most and bumps us through the algorithm. And then subscribe and comment and patron and well wishes and all of that stuff.
And for the love of God, if my makeup was messed up the entire thing, please just check the comments to see if someone has already told me I don't need it 4 times. Thank you. Bye.
We love you. Also, knock it off. Your lipstick is smudged.
Oh, shit. Where? Right here?
The other one.
Other one?
Okay.
Well, you're welcome.
If it's noticeable, there's the acknowledgement.